Welcome back to a new episode of Kurtzky's Garage. I'm Kurt in the garage. So there you are, Kurtzky's Garage. The last bit of repair on the 300 SEL from the previous episode, I installed the monovalve plunger repair kit. And guess what? It actually worked. You know, when I took that little valve out, I didn't see anything wrong with it. But whatever was going on, there was something wrong with it. And as soon as I got that new part, the repair kit installed, the HVAC system actually behaved the way it was supposed to. So that's super cool. We've got a new HVAC brain. We've got that repair kit in on the monovalve plunger, and we have fully automatic climate control. It's working beautifully. So I'm super happy about that. Last night, thanks to a part arriving, I rebuilt the Hirschman power antenna. That is a very fussy, very finicky task, and probably not fit for a PG-rated podcast. It took much longer than it should have, but you know, when I'm rebuilding these things, I'm also trying to figure out how they work, not just do a repair. I want to understand. So it probably took about an hour and a half to put a new antenna mast in, lubricate what I needed to lubricate, reinstall everything, test it thoroughly, and it works very nicely. So when you turn the radio on, or the stereo system, the antenna goes up only part way, and on the dashboard, the instrument panel, there is a rocker switch that will give you control over how far the antenna is deployed, either to its full height or zero. So presumably, if you're going through a car wash, you can lower the antenna without turning the stereo off, which is kind of a nice feature. Or if you're trying to pull in a station, you know, you do have that local distant function on the stereo, but if you want to give yourself a little bit more gain out of the antenna, you can take it to the full height. So today's task, I want to start wrenching under the hood. And what we're going to do is adjust the throttle linkage. And by adjust, maybe I'm getting ahead of myself, but we're certainly going to inspect it, clean it, lubricate all the joints. This is something that I picked up from Kent over at Mercedes Source when he actually did a video on a 300 SE or SEL. There are so many different bell cranks and linkages and rods and connectors, and I'm not sure I'm getting all 177 horsepower out of that engine. And certainly I find the kickdown, the transmission kickdown, you got to put your foot practically through the floorboard to get it to activate. So we're going to have a look at it, and you know, we'll just see if something is not quite within adjustment or if there's any resistance. I don't really have a spec for it, but the first thing we're going to do is inspect. So there we go. Join me in a moment when we get the hood open and the air cleaner off, and we'll have a closer look. Okay, so we got the air cleaner off, which has 4 bolts holding the lid on, and then another, I guess, 3 bolts holding the air cleaner base to the engine. I'm going to show you what I mean by throttle linkages. Okay, so let's have a look here. You've got the accelerator pedal linkage coming down from the floorboard there, coming up to this connection, transferring direction. So you're taking an up-down motion, it's converting it to a horizontal motion. That's attached to a rod, giving it rotational motion, turning this bell crank. Now, part of this is also attached to the cruise control computer somewhere, one of these linkages, and you know, then we're finally into something that actually moves the throttle. But first things first, we got play in there. So let's see if we can get that play out and if that makes a difference. Okay, so we successfully adjusted the throttle linkage. I took the slack out of the system, but the idle's sitting a little bit high. And right now, it's Diwali day today. So happy Diwali if you're celebrating. And the neighbor across the street setting up for a celebration. So we're going to call it quits. I'm going to take the car out for a quick test drive. I want to see what the throttle response is like. High idle, notwithstanding, idle, sorry, it was idling somewhere around 550, 600 RPM. Now we're a bit closer to 1,000. That is strictly because I took the slack out of the throttle linkage. If I have to reverse that, I certainly will, but I want to see what the car is behaving like now, and if I can find a way to adjust the idle, I will do that and bring it back down. But man, it sounds good. It started up much easier. So maybe I'm going in the right direction. I'll do some research on what the proper idle will be, and I'll report back to you. So there we go. Happy Monday to you. And if you're celebrating Diwali, happy Diwali. Thanks, guys. Take care. Bye-bye. Okay, I had to share this with you because this is pretty exciting. I just got back from a test drive after adjusting the throttle linkage on the 300 SEL, and two amazing things happened. Number one, the car actually accelerates the way it should. Not just engine acceleration, but the kickdown works as it should. I'm not having to put my foot seemingly halfway through the floorboard to get kickdown. So it's actually working. And number two, the idle settled down. So I guess it sort of self-learns, or whatever closed loop system. I mean, it's a relatively modern fuel injection system. So idle is kind of a closed loop thing. Any rate, I just had to share that worked. And by the, oh no, I did tell you that the HVAC system worked too. And the Hirschman antenna worked. So little by little, she's coming back and it's driving really nice. I mean, I think before it was driving more like a turbo diesel, and we've got it, bumped up a little bit in performance. Look, it's never going to be a modern AMG, but it's behaving the way I would expect a 3-liter inline six to behave. So I'm counting that as a big win. So now we figure out a few more things. Stay tuned. We'll figure out more things as we resurrect the 1990 300 SEL.